The track lies silent under the amber glow of floodlights. A lone figure stands at the edge of the lane, his breath rising in thin mist against the cool evening air. The crowd hums with anticipation, a low, electric murmur that vibrates through the concrete stands. As he crouches into position, everything fades. The noise, the fear, the weight of expectation. All that remains is the sound of his heartbeat echoing inside his chest. Then, crack! The pistol fires, and the stillness explodes into motion. In that instant, Detlef Wagenknecht is not just running a race, he is chasing a lifetime. Every stride, every breath, every ache in his body carries the echoes of years spent chasing perfection. Born in the heart of East Berlin, in a world divided by walls and ideologies, he was a boy who found freedom in movement. The narrow streets, the smell of cold asphalt after rain, the sound of his own footsteps, these became his playground. While others sought escape in books or dreams, Detlef found his in speed. Running wasn't just sport, it was his rebellion, his liberation, his truth. He was tall for his age, all elbows and knees, a blur of long limbs and boundless energy. Teachers noticed that whenever a school race began, Detlef would run not just to win, but as though something invisible was chasing him. By his teens, that natural drive drew the attention of local coaches. They saw in him what few others could, a rare blend of power and endurance, the makings of a middle-distance runner built to endure pain and find beauty in it. And so began a journey of discipline that would define his life. Mornings in East Berlin were cold and gray, but Detlef was always awake before dawn. He'd lace up his shoes while the city still slept, the smell of damp concrete filling the air. On the track, his breath came out in white clouds. He'd start slow, a few drills, a stretch, then acceleration runs. The rhythm of his strides became a heartbeat against the silence. The stadium was his sanctuary, the track his truth. His coach's voice would echo across the lanes, firm, sharp, demanding. Again, Detlef, faster, precision, not power. He learned that greatness isn't born from comfort. It's forged in repetition, in those hours when nobody's watching. While others rested, he trained. While others doubted, he pushed through. Every aching muscle, every bead of sweat was an investment in a dream. By the late 1970s, that dream began to take shape. Detlef started representing East Germany at major competitions, facing rivals who were legends in the making. The pressure was immense. In a country where sport was a matter of national pride, every race carried the weight of a flag, every stride the expectation of millions. Yet Detlef didn't run for politics. He ran for the purity of competition, for the thrill of chasing the impossible. In 1977, he stood on an international podium for the first time. The metal around his neck was cold, but the fire inside him burned hotter than ever. That taste of recognition didn't satisfy him. It ignited him. He began training harder than ever, fine-tuning his body into a machine of precision. His tall frame became lean and efficient, his strides smooth and powerful. He focused on the 800 meters, 2 laps of agony and art, a distance where speed meets strategy, where endurance kisses pain. His training became a ritual. Mornings began with drills, afternoons with endurance sessions, evenings with visualization. He'd lie in bed, eyes closed, picturing the race in vivid detail. The track, the turn, the final straight, the tape breaking across his chest. He believed that before you could win with your legs, you had to win with your mind. Then came 1980, the Moscow Olympics. The tension in the air was heavy with politics, but Detlef had one focus: the race. Standing among the world's greatest, he felt a calm intensity. The gun fired, and 800 meters became eternity. Each turn tested his will, each stride burned like fire. On the final curve, his lungs screamed, his legs begged for mercy, but his heart answered louder. He crossed the line among the best in the world, not as a champion of medals, but of resilience. It was a defining moment, proof that he belonged on the world stage. Yet his journey was far from over. In the seasons that followed, he experienced the full rhythm of an athlete's life, the triumphs, the heartbreaks, the silent battles. Injuries tested his spirit, the sharp pain in his hamstring, the stiffness in his hip, the nights spent awake wondering if he'd ever run the same again. But Detlef refused to break. He would whisper to himself in those dark moments, "You are built for this. Pain is the price of greatness." In 1981, he ran the race of his life. The track glistened under bright summer light. The crowd roared as he powered through the final stretch. The clock stopped at 1:44:81, a lifetime best. As he leaned across the finish line, a surge of emotion washed over him. He had conquered his limits. He had proven that years of relentless discipline had not been in vain. That time placed him among the fastest men of his era. His coach embraced him at the finish, eyes bright. "Now," he said, "they will remember your name." But the mark of a true athlete is not just in victory, it's in how he handles defeat. In 1982, at the European Championships, Detlef gave everything, only to fall short of the podium. The disappointment hit him harder than any physical pain. That night, alone in his hotel room, he replayed every second of the race in his mind. The moment he hesitated, the final surge that came a heartbeat too late. Yet even then, a quiet voice inside him said, "You'll rise again." And he did. In the following years, he claimed national titles, both indoors and outdoors. He ran against world champions and held his ground. He learned that greatness was not defined by medals, but by consistency, the ability to show up day after day, no matter how hard it gets. He embraced the solitude of training, the rhythm of pain and progress. He began to see running not as a battle, but as a dialogue between his mind and body. Outside the track, Detlef was thoughtful and grounded. He loved music, philosophy, and long walks through the city that raised him. While others saw only the athlete, his friends knew the quiet thinker behind the stopwatch, a man who found peace not in applause, but in purpose. He once said to a friend, "Running teaches you who you are. When your body wants to stop, your soul takes over." By the mid-1980s, as new generations of runners emerged, Detlef began to reflect more deeply on his journey. He had seen the heights of world competition and the depths of personal struggle. He had tasted both victory and disappointment. Yet through it all, he remained the same, a man defined by discipline, humility, and the unwavering belief that effort never goes to waste. When he finally stepped off the track for the last time, there was no grand farewell, no fireworks, just the quiet satisfaction of a man who knew he had given everything he had. His spikes, worn and scarred, told a story of thousands of miles, countless hours, immeasurable heart. And that is what makes Detlef Wagenknecht's story timeless. He wasn't just an athlete, he was a testament to endurance. To every young runner standing on a cold track at dawn, his journey whispers, "Keep going." Success isn't found in the medal around your neck, it's in the courage to lace up your shoes and try again tomorrow. The spirit of Detlef's run lives on, not in records or medals, but in every person who refuses to quit when the odds are heavy, in every heart that beats faster when chasing a dream. His story reminds us that greatness isn't about being the fastest, it's about being the most determined. Because when the gun fires and the world blurs around you, there's only one truth left. The race isn't against others, it's against yourself. So run your race. Run through fear, through pain, through doubt. Run like Detlef Wagenknecht, with purpose, passion, and pride. And as always, this is Behind the Medal. If Detlef's story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because the greatest races aren't just won on the track, they're won in the heart.